If you are struggling to remain consistent with your desires, with manifesting, bringing in your desires, no matter what that is, no matter what that is you're wanting to manifest, I'm here to tell you exactly why this is happening. Also, if you are somebody who is able to manifest, fairly easily to bring your desires to you, but you then struggle to keep those desires with you, to hold them consistently, then I'm going to explain exactly why this is happening. So, first of all, I wanted to share something, and I really want you to remember this. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with you. You are wholeness. You are completeness. You are oneness. You are enoughness. You are worthiness, and you are perfect just as you are, and you always have been. Remember that. Write that down. Pause the video even if you have to. Put it somewhere. Repeat it. Loop it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Whenever you doubt that there is something wrong with you because you can't manifest what it is that you want, or you can't consistently hold on to what it is that you bring in to your reality. I want you to remember that. I want you to remember that. So I'm going to start here by sharing a story about me. So, about me being able to manifest very easily, fairly easily, but then watching it slip away. And I'm talking about the conscious manifesting. And then being inconsistent also in other manifestations and in sticking to manifesting what it is that I want. So if this is you, if this resonates, please make yourself a cup of tea, pour yourself a coffee, a glass of wine, or some water, take a sip, take a seat, and take some nice deep breaths. And remember, there is nothing wrong with you. And this is why this is happening. And this is what I uncovered about myself. So, as some of you may know, I've been able to manifest specific people back. I've been able to manifest 30K months in my business. I've been able to manifest a diary full of coaching clients. I've been able to manifest a successful six-figure business. I've been able to manifest taking my business to Ibiza and across the world. I've been able to manifest first class seats, when I was told there was no seats available at all on the plane in first class. I've been able to manifest specific clothes that were no longer available. I've been able to manifest my Garmin. Now, I've been able to manifest the best hairdresser on this planet, having disastrous hairdressers over the last couple of years. I've been able to manifest an incredible accountant, having had disastrous accountants over the last few years, who was absolutely incredibly supportive of me and my business, and such a lovely soul and so good at his job. I've been able to manifest beautiful souls in my life. I've been able to manifest love and kindness. I've been able to manifest a house to stay in Ibiza that cost me less than what I was putting up with where I was staying before. The space I had was unbelievable. The views were off the scale in this nature. It was unbelievable. Chin to the floor moments every day. I've been able to manifest my body exactly how I wanted it to be, even better than I could imagine. Now, I've been able to manifest opportunities to work with YouTubers, to work with incredibly well-known fashion houses. I've been able to manifest beautiful clothes. I've been able to manifest my dream car, my Stormzy the Stormtrooper, my Range Rover Sport, brand new Range Rover Sport. So I'm just sharing this mainly for those of you that are new to my channel as the pennies drop and don't know me. But I want you to know that I've been able to manifest all of this and so much more, but these are just the ones that came to the top of my head as I share this video with you that came to my mind. Now, whilst I was able to manifest a lot of what I have shared, to bring it in, there was a lot that, I couldn't actually hold on to consistently. Specific people would come back time and time and time again, come and go, come and go, come and go. Money would come and go, come and go, come and go. Growth in my social media would be up and down, roller coaster, you know, inconsistent high views on my videos. I wasn't able to manifest consistency with kindness, with respect, with value, with love. I couldn't hold it and I couldn't receive it consistently. And when you manifest what you want, God, you do feel relief. And it does feel incredible. It does feel natural because you've done the work. But by the time you've actually received it, it still feels amazing because like I said, you've done it, you've done the work, and you feel very humble and very proud about it too. But then to have it leave, to feel it slipping away, gulp, that feels so out of your control. It's like you've taken 10 steps forwards to become that version of you, to receive your desire, and then like 100 steps back, just watching it slip away. And it doesn't matter what you do, you can't seem to bring it back. It's that head in the hand moment that what's happening? There are also manifestations that I've wanted to bring into my reality. One of them being consistency of freedom, the other one being love. Freedom. The freedom is to not be stuck at my mark, the freedom to be able to work when I want to, when I feel inspired, not because I'm programmed to, because that's just the institutional mindset, isn't it? We're taught to have to hustle, that we have to struggle, that we have to work all the hours under the sun, that money doesn't grow on trees, which doesn't actually give us much time to actually enjoy the rewards. When I wanted to change my business model from being, somebody that was very successful and having back-to-back coaching sessions, which I loved, but it wasn't sustainable for me because I was burnt out completely. You see, because if I wasn't doing the one-to-one coaching, I was creating content, which I love. I love it. I loved to do that. But I found myself one day barely being able to get out of bed, just absolutely beyond exhausted. I knew I had to do something about it. I knew I had to change my business model. And so over the last 2 years, even though I knew what I wanted, I always knew what I wanted. I wanted the passive income through my workshops because they're built with integrity and mutual benefit, my healing programs, through my members only channel, the badass manifestors community, through my social media platform, the adverts, because it is all with integrity and it is all with mutual benefit. And I put my heart and soul into everything that I do, everything that I create. I wanted the freedom to go with it, but I couldn't remain consistent in manifesting it until now. So, whether you are somebody who struggles to remain consistent with your manifestations, or you're unable to hold on to the desires that you've manifested in, no matter what that is, could be that new job, the creative business, the clients, the love interest, the loving relationships, the money, the friendships, the weight loss, whatever it is, your fitness levels. I'm going to explain exactly why this happens and what I've uncovered. So you no longer have to be on this roller coaster of back and forth, up and down, chaos, confusion, unpredictabilities, receiving inconsistently. And it is this. What I uncovered was my inner child, my inner childs, or my inner children, as I like to say, were holding on. Let me explain actually that bit. So, what I mean, it's not just one inner child at a specific age holding on to all of these beliefs. There are different ages within me, each holding onto different beliefs that are creating these patterns outside of me still. So my inner, as I'm going to just say, children were holding on to very painful stories about themselves, based on how they had been treated, what they'd experienced, what they'd seen growing up. And in my experience, I saw chaos, confusion, inconsistency, unpredictability, when it came to money, business, kindness, love, support. It was all inconsistent. I never felt safe. I was in this fight or flight. I was constantly in a vibrating with anxiety, little did I know. And I was always ready for the shoe to drop. And it wasn't safe for me to show up as this, honestly, this beautiful blondie bomber, bubbly little girl with the biggest personality. It wasn't safe for me to be that person. I came into the world, went, where's the party? I always was told to shut up, be quiet, don't do that. What are you doing? The moments I started to feel safe to play, like stepping in, let's try this out. Even with my siblings, unkindness or cruel behavior would come out. Oh God, it was awful. I share a lot of this in the Healed Heart Blueprint. I'm not shy in speaking my truth of my childhood. I'd be blamed for things I hadn't done. I was scapegoated. I was easily shut down when I needed support. It just wasn't there. That inconsistency of unkindness throughout my life was what my inner childs of various ages, my inner children, were holding on to. But in a nutshell, this was what was really happening. I was carrying other people's beliefs about me, not my belief about me, but other people's beliefs about me. And that got so loud and so loud and so loud. That's all I saw based on, but it was based on their insecurities, how they were brought up, how they saw themselves, how they felt about themselves. I was carrying beliefs like, that the harder you work, the more money you have. So you have to hustle. You have to stay in unhealthy relationships. You have to struggle in relationships, no matter what. Put up and shut up. And the only way I knew how to kind of retaliate, to kind of protect myself, was to fight for my corner, fight to argue. But I was destroyed even more. It was always my fault. They never took any responsibility for what they were doing. And nothing I ever did ever felt enough. Love wasn't safe. Even when I would try to earn it. Money was inconsistent. Life is so hard. No matter what I did, I couldn't quite get it. Trying to prove myself to receive this consistency, thinking that there was something wrong with me, but there never was. So let's bring this back to the topic of not being able to remain consistent, whether it's manifesting or holding what you've manifested consistently for good. So for me, the reason I wasn't able to consistently hold what I'd manifested, or to consistently manifest in what I wanted, to remain faithful to that, to the dreams that I wanted to experience, the life that I wanted, was because my inner child, my inner children never felt safe. They never felt safe to hold it for fear of being judged, for fear of being left abandoned, hurt, for fear of not being enough or losing it. They were holding beliefs that it wasn't possible to show up fully with an open heart, to experience love and kindness consistently, because it would inevitably end. And I would be the one left even more hurt, in more pain. It wasn't safe to hold on to love or money because people would judge me for who I was, for what I wanted, for having nice things, for being my true, authentic, beautiful, vulnerable self. So whilst I was able to manifest the things and receive them, I was never going to be able to hold them consistently, because simply this, I wasn't wired. My nervous system wasn't wired that way. I was wired to believe it would all go. And guess what? A lot of it did. When it came to relationships, if there was someone that I liked, and I'd start maybe just thinking about them in a loving way, my inner child was so scared of finally being chosen, supported, loved, because of the horrendous treatment that she'd experienced as a child and throughout adulthood. That consistency for me was near impossible. And it was exhausting. And it felt like I was going through a massive roller coaster. It's like, I can do this, I can manifest that person in, or I can think about that person. and it will work out, or no, I can't do that. And let's make up my ego would make up a reason why. It wasn't simple. It was just simply ingrained in me not to have what I wanted to hold it consistently. So I'd convince myself it was never going to happen or that they wouldn't want me. Or I'd make up stories to protect myself. Like I said, like my ego would. The protection mechanism, that guard came up massively. So when I began my inner child and nervous system recalibration work, getting to the root of what each of these childs were holding on to about love, money, work, success, friendships, their body, their worth, how they looked, their intelligence, and so much more. I was finally able to help them through this to release what they'd been carrying. I helped them feel safe. I helped them to trust me. I showed them how much I loved them so I could honor them and their needs. I allowed them to be heard and seen so they could experience their desires. And really, that little self, that bubbly, happy, blondie bomber dancing, dressy, uppy, lovely little girl, she's back. That childlike joy and outlook on life. And I am returning to that, to my innocence. And it feels incredible. So my 10 or 11-year-old inner child now feels safe too. She sees I'm honoring her. I'm very selective about who is around me. And I check in with her and make sure she feels safe with the people that I've selected in my life. My older inner child who desires love and success, you know, she wants to see herself as the version of her that can hold it, to receive that. And she's learning that we no longer settle for less. In fact, settling for less is no longer allowed, that we are only accepting an overflow of abundance now. Over the last few months, this has been my dedication, getting to the root cause and recalibrating my nervous system, because your nervous system is a vibration, it is a frequency. And no matter where you go, you receive back experiences that match that vibration. It's like having one foot in the door and one foot out of the door all the time. Your heart is open a little, but then it closes because it's scared. Like that door then shuts. It's scared of being hurt, abandoned, left, judged, put down, you know, for the money going, for the success going, for being ridiculed, whatever it is, for wanting more. That's the inconsistency. The door opens, abundance comes in, feels amazing. That's your manifestation. And then it closes and yet that leaves, but not anymore. And through the Healed Heart Blueprint, my newest signature program, we get to the root cause of this. It is a blueprint, you guys, that you can return to every time a pattern outside of you shows up, to heal it with consistency, to release it with diligence and with daily practice. So through this, you become someone who can finally manifest your heart's content without giving up, someone who can finally control their inner conversations, loop these new stories, visualize and feel in the living in the end of the state of the wish fulfilled, your desires, and hold them consistently, knowing your worth and value, because there was never anything wrong with you. Your inner child was just carrying what they'd been through, what they'd experienced, what they'd soaked up, that other people were carrying, that was their normal. And when you help them feel safe and loved, when they release all of this and they realize that peace, kindness, love, success, support, and abundance are actually their birthright, your world shifts because you shift their world. Now I'm able to effortlessly maintain consistency in my inner conversations, consistently, manifestations and visualizations too, for the life my inner children, my inner child's always wanted. And the evidence keeps showing up, Right now, I'm experiencing opportunities to collaborate with people. Right now, I'm experiencing upgrades beyond my wildest dreams. Opportunities, people, kindness, love, generosity, unexpected money, and abundance beautiful comments on my social media platforms, heartfelt reviews from clients, from the Healed Heart Blueprint, from Be Love, from the Collective Unlimited. You know, people being so generous and thoughtful and respectful and speaking to me in ways that, like, it's just, I never experienced it like this before. People emailing me and saying how grateful they are that I exist for my work and how it's transformed their lives and to never give up. It is mind blowing. And through this, I've learned to release the struggle. I no longer struggle. I no longer hustle. I work when it feels right. I rest, I play, I have fun. Yesterday, I was in London having the most incredible time, meeting inspirational people, having dinner, receiving compliments, just having fun, trying beautiful clothes on, not rushing, living in ease and flow. Something that I'm very much used to now. I'm allowing myself to return to my innocence, to hold on to my innocence, to be that innocence. And that is where my magnetism is. And that is where yours is too. I'm allowing myself to receive it all safely, consistently, and peacefully. I'm showing up consistently, doing the inner work with my manifestations effortlessly. I'm able to be seen authentically, vulnerably, to live free. I'm allowing myself to do it, to live the life the way I want to on my terms. So I know this was a very long video. And if you're still here, thank you for staying to the end. And I really, really hope that this has helped. I intend that it's helped. There is nothing wrong with you. Everything you experience is simply a reflection of your subconscious beliefs, that inner vibration, that frequency that you are currently carrying. And when you release that, and you free yourself from it and you recalibrate your nervous system, you heal at the root of your inner child and show up consistently for that, work, your life it will transform. Things outside, it will feel like you're in a dream, just like mine did and has and continues to do so. So if you are ready to release that nervous system that has been directing and controlling your life, to stop these inconsistencies in manifestations and to finally feel safe to receive and hold what you desire. This is your invitation to step into the Healed Heart Blueprint. It is your map, your blueprint to return to again and again, to release, recalibrate, and transform. Repeat. You can find out more about the Healed Heart Blueprint by clicking the link below this video or in my bio. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure being here with you. Please feel free to comment below. Your comments, as I've said earlier, mean the absolute world to me. And honestly, they're such heartfelt. I sit with a glass of wine in the evening, sometimes just reading them, just like chin to the floor moments. I wake up to your beautiful words in the morning. It's still so new for me to receive consistently so much, to receive this love and kindness. And this is why I will always remain so grateful and so humble for it. So if you haven't already subscribed, then, that would be amazing too. If you want to click that subscribe button, your support does mean the world to me. So please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe, you guys. And as always, with much love from the UK, I will be back very, very soon.